Hello and welcome to this big weekend preview brought to you by Betway. This week's guest, Richard Dunne, is here to help us preview Man City versus Liverpool. These clubs have been ferociously competing for the Premier League over the past couple of years, to the delight of neutrals and the sheer misery of Man United fans. How did you find it in your time, Man City, playing against Liverpool? I mean, you came up against some pretty considerable forwards in your time.
Liverpool always had good sides, probably not obviously of the level they've got now, but
I imagine you would have played against prime Fernando Torres in your later years at City when he was at Liverpool. Where does he rank in terms of that strikers that you played against? Did he give you a tough time, or did you pocket him no problem?
Obviously.
He's still in there now, I can see him, isn't he?
No, he was quality. He was, go back and think about the top strikers that I've played against, and I think of Henry and you think of Torres and you think, well, what made them brilliant? And it was generally, they were clever, they were quick, but they had a supply line, and him and Gerrard, the combinations that them two had was incredible.
Okay, it is time for Richard's Bet Your Way predictions. Our last guest, Pascal Chimbonda, got 2 out of 3 predictions correct, so it's a pretty good standard set already. So, Richard, what are your predictions? The first one is the first player to score.
I've gone for Raheem Sterling. I think he's brilliant. I think he scores nearly in every other match or something like that, so he didn't score in midweek, so I'm hoping that he scores at the weekend.
He was good against Sheffield, wasn't it? Sheffield United as well. I thought he was very good.
I think for the goal, was it when he set it up with the dribble up the line, and he seems to get better every year, you know, and he's still only 25, and he's not a million miles off Aguero's record for the club as well, so he's someone that can certainly be a threat.
Okay, and Raheem Sterling is 5-1 to be first goal scorer in that match. It's worth noting that Betway will pay you out as a winner if the team you back to win scores first in the match too. So for a final score, what is your prediction?
I've gone for 3-1 to Man City.
Cool.
It's obviously it's going to be a close game. There's goals on both sides. You know, they create lots of chances. And I think the team that scores first, and I'm predicting obviously with Sterling to score the first goal, I think City will score first, and I think that will create opportunities for them.
That 3-1 prediction is 11-1 as well. And final prediction for this match, a player to be carded in the game.
It's a hard one, this. It's not a nice thing to go for. I'd say me, definitely, if I was playing. But I think you try and look in the whole package and think, well, I predict Man City to be winning, to be going ahead, and Liverpool having to attack. And I know Liverpool's full-backs like to attack, so then for me it's a toss-up between Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, and I've gone for Robertson.
He likes a bit of need as well, Robbo. He likes to give him a bit of a bit of chat.
Rather than being a bad tackle or something like that, I can see him pulling someone back because he does tend to get really forward, and he ends up in the midfield areas at times. And if you're 2-1 down, you're trying to stop a counter-attack or whatever it may be, there might be the opportunity for them to take someone down.
Okay, and Andrew Robertson is 4-1 to be carded in that match. You've got a unique perspective, like considering you played for Man City through a transitionary period. What was it like seeing a club kind of transition like that? Was it?
It's weird because the transition in the club was instant, and we were away on international duty at the time, to then coming back to being probably the most spoke about club in the world, and being linked with every player in the world, and saying, well, we want to be champions within a year or 2 years, we want to qualify for the Champions League, the main aim is to win the Champions League. And for us, the majority of the players that was there, it was like, well, to win the Champions League in 2 years, it's like, it might be a bit of an ask. So you know, so the belief changed in the club, and it was hard. And
what's it like within the squad when you see, you know, you're saying when they're getting linked to everyone, all these players, like, is there a bit of humour about it? Like, you go up to Stephen Ireland and say, not to worry, mate, but we've been linked with Kaka this morning. Like, he plays in your position, so.
You're looking over your shoulder a bit, maybe.
Yeah. Probably naively, you look and think, I can't wait to play alongside him, and the next thing is like, actually, you're not playing. And then it's like,
this company fella looks all right.
So it is, because you're at the club and you want what's best for the club because you believe you're part of it and all that stuff. So you want all these players to come in, and inevitably things change and people move on and all that stuff. And it's like, well, it doesn't take away from the time that I had at the club because it's still part of what was a club in now. You know, there's periods in every club where it's consolidation and all that stuff, and we were a side who were up and down.
That pretty much wraps up this big weekend preview brought to you by Betway. Thanks very much again to our special guest Richard Dunne for joining us and helping us preview this weekend. If you would like to bet your way too, just head on over to Betway.